My co-host is Miss Johanna Rincon. And Johanna, welcome to the show today.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Cedrick. You're getting better and better pronouncing my last name. I love it.
Well, thank you very much. I'm excited to be here with you today, guys. And again, I'm Cedrick LaFleur. I'm your host, and Johanna Rincon is your co-host today on IBGR.network. Today, we're going to be talking about from stuck to start, shifting your team's mindset from could be to can do. Now that's a lot there right there, Joanna. We're gonna have a good time with this session today. But folks, what I want you to do before we really get kicked in and get started is to go download the app. You have two options. One, you can go to ibgr.network and check us out there, and you can download the app there. But I really need you to go over to the App Store or the Play Store, and that's where you really download the app. And when you download the app, folks, you're not just getting a plain old boring app. Like there's some apps that are out there that's just plain old and boring, right? With our IBGR To Go app, you're going to be getting show notes for today so that you can use later on. You're gonna also have access to all the on-air talent that we have here at IBGR Network. And guys, the organizers, the owners, the founders of this great company said, we want to make sure that people have total access to us. So if you go get that IBGR To Go app, you're going to have access to us. You're going to have a lot of notes. You're going to get us an ebook. And let me tell you what, folks, if you want to get the best business information possible, you need those ebooks. So go ahead and download that app. And again, it's at the Play Store or the App Store. Just type in IBGR Network. It's going to come up Business Growth Radio. Click download, and now it's in the palm of your hands forever. You have power in your hands, whether you're driving down the street, whether you're sitting in your living room, you're out on the back patio. Well, it's kind of cold to be out on the back patio in some places right now. I'm not leaving the house. And I'll tell you what, but I'm excited to be here with you today, and let's just get started. But I always have to start off with a story. So there was a turkey that was chatting with a bull, and the turkey said, I would love to be able to get to the top of that tree, but I don't have the energy. Those days when you're tired, right? Well, the bull replied, why don't you nibble on some of my droppings? They're packed with nutrients. Well, the turkey pecked on a lot of the bull droppings and found that it actually gave him enough strength to get to the lowest branch of the tree. So the next day, after eating some more of the bull droppings, he reached the second branch. So he just kept on nibbling. Well, finally, after the fourth night, there he was, proudly perched at the top of the tree, Joanna. But he was promptly spotted by a hunter who pointed that gun at him and shot him down out of the tree. See, the moral of the story here is BS may get you to the top, but it's not going to keep you there.
I like that.
All right. So we're going to be talking about going from stuck to start, shifting your team's mindset from could be to can do. Now, Joanna, I want you to go ahead and can do us up front.
All right, let's do this. There's a lot to unpack. All right. So one of the goals, Cedrick, of every organization is to have a team members that are self-starters, go-getters, and innovative problem solvers, right?
Right.
Every leader will love to have a room full of people just waiting to take action and get things moving. But most leaders don't. So why is that? You see, while there are plenty of reasons, and this is a fact which many business books on Amazon will attest, there is often one cause at the root of employee inaction. They don't know what to do. And listen to this, Cedrick.
Okay.
Listen very careful. They don't know what to do. And it will be easy to chalk up ignorance or even laziness. But the truth is, that many people don't know where to go in life because they don't know how to grow in life. All
Yeah.
right. I'm going to repeat that again. Many people don't know where to go in life because they don't know how to grow. Does that sound familiar, Cedric? Like so many
Yes.
people, right?
Yes. Too many people, Johanna. And you know what? Today, all of that changes. We're going to make people grow today. That's right, folks. If you're tuning in on the radio or you're tuning in live on Facebook or YouTube, you're growing today. You have no choice. All right.
Right.
Today, you're going to grow. See, the difference between a person who's stuck and a person who starts is that personal growth gap. And that's what we want to help to close that gap. See, the distance between a person dreaming and a person doing is shortened by the person's willingness to grow. So if you're willing to grow, just type in, if you're listening virtually on Facebook or YouTube, just type in, I'm ready to grow. Okay. Now, if you're driving, don't do that because we don't have enough insurance to pay for all of that. All right. So just listen if you're driving. But if you're listening on YouTube or Facebook, type it in, I'm ready to grow. See, when your team commits to personal growth, the impact spreads into their home, into their work, and into their community. Man, that's awesome. So you see, the whole person changes. Everything about them changes. Everything that they do changes. So how can you as a leader shrink the personal growth gap facing your team? How do you move your people from a stuck mindset to a start mindset? That's really what we're going to be getting at today. See, you must model growth for your team. See, in the book, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, John Maxwell writes about the law of the picture. And it's simply put, it says, people do what people see. People do what people see. You know, think about your little children at home, right? You do something and all of a sudden you see them doing it, or you say something and you hear them saying it, right? You go, oh, wait a minute, you can't say that, right? You got to watch what you say around the little kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
People do what people see. See, no matter the team context, when people see a leader exhibit healthy growth and healthy growth habits, the team copies the leader and succeeds. And that's really what we're going to be getting at today. So the question is for you, are you growing? That's the question, Johanna. Are you growing? See, if that question feels challenging, it should. The hardest people we will ever lead is ourselves, right? We tend to judge others a bit more harshly than we judge ourselves, Johanna, right? We always judge people on what they say they're going to do, right? But we judge ourselves totally different. If they don't do it, we judge ourselves totally different what our intent was.
Right.
There's a difference, right? But it's okay. The point isn't judgment, it's improvement. The point isn't judgment, Johanna, it's improvement. But
I like that.
yes, but
and it's not the intention. Sorry, Cedric. It's not the intention, right? It's the action that you take.
Absolutely, yes. But before we can improve, we must first understand where we are.
That was awesome. Well, here's a quick checklist to determine if you're growing. Number one, ask yourself, do you value growth? You know you value growth when it's something you see and celebrate in your life and in the life of others. You see, people who value growth, they aren't afraid to change, and they appreciate when someone else succeeds. And I do like that, and I appreciate that about people who are growing, and they're genuinely happy for you when you're growing, Cedric.
Yes.
Here's another question. Do you practice growth? You know you practice growth when you make time for it in your schedule and you develop habits to stretch yourself. See, whether you're listening to a podcast or maybe reading a book or taking online courses, that stretches your knowledge and skills. And if you want to grow, you have to set aside a time to use that for, to practice your growth. It's really important. Another question is, do you share growth? The joke about CrossFit and veganism is true for people who are passionate about personal growth too, Cedric. If someone is into it because they can help it, they can help to tell other people. When you grow, you can't wait to pass on to others what you're learning, because you want everyone to experience the joy of becoming a better person. That's what happens. It's just the whole energy in you, right? You want to transmit it to everybody. And here's another question. Do you encourage growth? If you're growing, you want others to grow too. So people who grow make time to encourage and assist growth in others, whether it's through words of affirmation, recommended resources, coaching, mentoring. You just do that because you want to encourage others to do the same, Cedric. So those are some really good questions that you should be asking yourself, to as a checklist to determine if you are growing.
Yes, you're absolutely right about that. And folks, we're going to be going to a break here in about 20 seconds. You're listening to Talk Leadership with Cedrick on the radio, and with Johanna Rincon as our co-host. When we get back from the break, folks, we're going to really dive into some principles that you can put into action. We're going to be talking about how do you take people from could be to can do. All right. So folks who are listening to us on Facebook and YouTube, we are in a commercial break right now. And we'll be right back on the radio in about 2.5 minutes. Hey, Johanna, a quick question for you. Are you using your Yeti mic?
Yes, I am.
Turn your volume up a little bit.
Up. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because it was lower than mine. I know part of it is probably because I talk louder and I'm closer to my mic than probably you are, and sometimes I get right up on my mic, but
I'll talk louder.
So folks who are listening in on Facebook, welcome to the show. I'm so excited that you're here. If you have a question for us, definitely put it in the chat. Hey, Kevin, I see you there. Hey, Donna, I see you say you're ready to grow. And Kevin says the hardest people we will ever lead is ourselves.
That's right.
That's absolutely right about that. I'm excited that you guys are here listening to us today. And we are, like I said, on the commercial break. We'll be back on the air, on the radio air in about 2 minutes. But in the meantime, Johanna, let's just talk about this cold weather that's happening, right? I live in Utah. It's cold here, so I know in Georgia
it is so cold here. And you know what, Cedric? I used to live in New York for many years, and I just moved to Atlanta like 2 years ago, and this is not what I signed up for. This is really cold, but I know at least we don't have snow here. I know there's a lot of snow in the tri-state area in New York and New Jersey, Connecticut. They got a lot of snow, but I can deal with the cold. It's better than the snow, right? I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
How about you? How are you guys?
Yeah, it's cold here. It's in the 40s.
Okay.
And so for us, that's really cold.
Yes.
But I'm staying in the house, so I'm not even worried about going outside. They can have it.
Right. That's right.
They can have it. All right. Break.
Like your jacket, your whole outfit today, Cedric. You're looking good.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
All right.
We are going to be right back in about 15 seconds.
All right. This is an awesome topic. So
yes, I'm excited for it. All right, here we go. All right, we are back, and you're listening to IBGR Network. IBGR is our call sign, is a radio station, but we are more than a radio station, folks. We are a network, and I am your host, Cedric LaFleur, and you're listening to Talk Leadership with Cedric on the radio. And today we are talking about going from stuck to start, shifting your team's mindset from could be to can do. So when we left off, Johanna had gave us a quick checklist to determine if you're growing. Now we're going to start. We're going to go a little bit further. We're going to take a deeper dive. See, the shift from stuck to start begins with you, but it doesn't end there, right? If you want to grow and innovation and be innovative in your thoughts, you got to take, it has to take root in your team. You must be intentional about providing growth opportunities for the people that you lead. See, that doesn't mean that all of a sudden you just ramp up your HR budget and start spending money willy-nilly. No, that's not what we're talking about. Now, we're not talking about necessarily just sending people off to different conferences, right? But it does mean that you, as the leader, can assume that everyone is growing and that everyone is on a growth journey. See, while it's tempting to make personal growth mandatory for all of your team members, the truth is you have people on your team right now. I mean, right now, literally right now, who are very comfortable with where they are. They're comfortable. We're coming in from 8 to 5 and going home and doing nothing else. See, they like being stuck. That's okay. You don't need to focus on them right now. We're going to focus on them later. See, you need to focus on the people who are interested in growth, and growth happens because best in groups. And we do things in groups. And Johanna, Rincon, and myself love to teach your teams in groups. I didn't mean to roll my tongue like that, in groups. It's happened.
You're trying to copy my accent.
Yes, I am. So, Johanna, let's tell the people how they can go from could be to can do.
All right, awesome. So here's how you take your people from could be to can do. So number one, figure out where your people need or want to grow. That's the first step, right? So there's no substitute for asking your people what they're interested in learning. So avoid the temptation of believing you know just what your people need. That's the one mistake we make sometimes, right? We assume that we know what our people need. To get employees' input, you could send an email, but it's better if you ask in person, especially if you have a small team. Even though you're not launching anything yet, you'll simultaneously gauge interest in growth and see who's interested in growth, and get background info where your people want to grow. It's going to be a win-win situation. As a leader, you want to do that because it's just going to bring this dynamic, and you're going to discover, the people who are really interested, and then you're going to start seeing who's really genuinely interested. And that's where you want to focus. Just as Cedrick just mentioned, that's the people you want to focus on first. Then you need to figure out the best content. And this is the point where Google and Amazon are your best friends, Cedrick. You see, you don't have to find the best resources. Find ones that seems of the interest to you, and then check the reviews, and then figure out what the investment will be for you to provide these resources to your people. You don't need to go crazy. Just do your research. You have Google and Amazon, right? Do your homework, and then, take it from there.
Yes, absolutely. So, the next thing is you got to figure out the best mechanism for content delivery, meaning for your people. See, a recent article by Harvard Business Review on this around corporate development or business development highlighted the many benefits of personal learning clouds, right? That might be something you want to write down and investigate. Personal learning cloud. See, teams are able to make learning personal, portable, and measurable when their learning platforms are digitized and accessible online. So now you're making it more convenient for people and accessible for people. Not only does a personal learning cloud, or PLC is what we call it, set up per employee, the training costs It keeps your training costs down, right? It also allows employees to go through this learning process within a office environment, right? Which helps increase the transferability of the concepts into more real-time setting, right? You get that? And then the other thing is finding an online learning partner willing to customize and co-brand the learning platform for you, right? That makes a big difference. There are a lot of co-branded type of platforms you can organization you can partner with. Number 4 is offer everyone the chance to sign up for the learning, right? You want to make it available to as many people as possible. Make it a low to no pressure deal, because you only want the people who are really interested in growth to sign up in this initial way, right? Again, we'll get to those non-conformers later. We'll get to those people who don't want to grow. We'll get to those people who just want to come and show up 8 to 5 and go home. We'll get to them later. See, eventually you're going to end up weeding them. They're going to weed themselves out, actually, Johanna.
Yes.
is what's going to happen, right? So then if no one signs up, that's a whole different issue, right? You hope somebody signs up, right? But
that's a bigger problem.
Absolutely, yeah. But you really need to set up something for small groups to sign up. So let's go ahead and give them the other ones, Johanna.
Absolutely. Number 5 will be host monthly meetings to discuss what people are learning. While many of the personal learning clouds platforms offer mechanisms to help you track which employees are engaged with the content, as well as what modules or lesson they have completed, Big Brother style accountabilities isn't helpful in a personal growth space. What does help, it's bringing people together regularly to discuss what they're learning and how it's helping them. You will get accountability, but you will also expand the reach of your of your platforms, the personal learning cloud, because you share how it matters within the team environment. That it's really important. Number 6, model growth yourself. This is where many leaders, Cedrick, they fail in their efforts to inspire growth. You see, you need to dig into the content, find ways to apply it to your leadership, and be prepared to share what you're learning. That's very powerful. The biggest cheerleaders for personal growth and development should be you, because you are the biggest practitioner. And remember what Cedrick said, ladies and gentlemen, earlier. People do what people see. If you are not growing yourself as the leader and you're not sharing what you're learning and you're modeling that, then your people are not going to do that. So very, very powerful point. Model growth yourself.
Yes. Those are actually very good points. And people need to understand that modeling is the key, and that's the most important thing. Mm-hmm. Number 7, hopefully I'll have time to get through this one before we take the next commercial break. But number 7 is encourage growth when you see it. See, learning is a lifelong process, and it needs nurturing. Right. Mm-hmm. See, when you hear or see someone taking steps toward growth, don't be shy about praising that person. Give them a little praise. That's going to help them continue to want to have growth. See, everyone needs encouragement, just like you want encouragement and need encouragement, just like everyone needs oxygen. Everyone needs a little nurturing. All right. John Maxwell says, what gets rewarded gets done. See, when you highlight and reward personal growth, you create a culture where growth becomes normal. You see, one of the things that organizations need more than they need leadership, they need a leadership culture. See, a leadership culture means a growth culture. A growth culture means a leadership culture. They go one and the same. You can't have one without the other. Okay. Now, leaders go the way, they know the way, and they show the way, not just with vision or strategy, but in matters of personal growth and development. See, your people are your greatest renewable, expandable resource. I didn't say expendable, expandable resource. You see, there's a difference. That's why investing in them will always produce a great return on investment. You're always looking for a good ROI. This is one of those. So, Johanna, I know we found these. You found these eight things that every business must do that Damon John put out. And we're going to read those on the other side of the break, right? We're gonna be taking a break here in a minute or so, but we'll come back and give them those on the other side of the break. But Johanna, as we think about these 7 things, what I want people to think about is, do they really care about their people? Mm-hmm. You see, you'll know when a leader cares about you when they talk to you about growing, when they talk to you about helping you become a better person, a better leader, a better employee, a better team member, a better communicator. When you know it, when they come to you and say, we're going to invest in you. If your leaders are not saying that to you, they probably don't value you. Mm-hmm. They see you as just a number, just a person, to get a widget out. You're listening to Talk Leadership with Cedrick on the radio with my co-host, Johanna Rincon. We will be right back after this break on IBGR.network. Thank you.
Awesome. That is a great question, Cedrick. I think, and just, for the people that are tuning in and Facebook, I think you as an employee, when a leader is genuine about, what they're telling you, and if they really want you to grow and learn, and that's what you need to value, right? There's a lot of good leaders out there, and they do care about their employees, but it's just some good awareness. All we're bringing you here is awareness and giving you some tools so that you can use them and you can learn how to identify these.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. So, in this world of personal growth, I love when I get to see teams and people go to a whole nother level. It just does something for me. It does something for the team, but you see the light comes on for them. You see that they get excited because they are learning something new. They get excited because they are growing. They get excited because they see themselves in a whole new light. And I absolutely love it. Johanna will be right back. She's had to disconnect for a second. She'll be right back. And then we're on a break from the radio, folks who are listening in. And let me let her back in.
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, no worries. So we are still on a break here from the radio. We'll be back on the radio here in about a minute and 10 seconds. So, hey, Johanna, did you check your?
Yeah, it is. It is plugged in and it's connected. It's still, you can still hear me very well.
Well, I can, but it's just on the radio. So you might want to move you might be too far away from your mic.
Okay, let me move it closer.
Closer to you, yeah.
Awesome. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, so Donna is listening and she'll tell us when we get back on the air. She can hear you. Yeah, if you have your mic way far away, then sound quality goes away.
Okay.
So, awesome. Yeah. I see Principal Gordon has joined again. Welcome.
Hello, my friend.
He is awesome. All right, we are getting ready to go live again here in like 10 seconds. All right, we are back and you're listening to IBGR Network. IBGR is our call sign as a radio station, but we are more than a radio station. We are a network, folks. And I am your host, Cedrick LaFleur, and you're listening to Talk to Leadership with Cedrick. You know, everybody needs a little TLC. And we are also with my lovely, beautiful, vivacious co-host, Ms. Johanna Rincon. And welcome, Johanna, back to the third segment. And we are here today, folks, talking about going from stuck to start, shifting your team's mindset from could be to can do. And right before the break, we were wrapping up a section and going over the 7 things that you need to know to understand if you're to take your people from could be to can do. Johanna came across these 8 things that Damon John puts together, and we want to go ahead and tell them about those, Johanna.
Absolutely. So number 1 is a great idea. You know, a great idea or product or service. So we're talking about, again, 8 things, 8 must-have that every business needs in order to succeed, right? So number 1, it's a great idea, a product or service. Number 2, you also not just any great idea, but an idea that has a market demand. Okay, you also need a business plan to achieve your vision. Number 4 is you need a strong marketing plan to guide you. I know a lot of entrepreneurs, Cedrick, they miss that part, right? And that's your strategy. You need to have a strong marketing plan in place in order for you to be successful. And then you also need just the right amount of capital to start your business. Not too much and not too little, but just the right amount. And also the skills to execute a great plan. You know, sometimes we have great ideas, we have a plan. We also need the skills to execute it, right? Number 7 is you need the ability to track your success and failures and adjust accordingly. And number 8, you know, having mentors to help you and to guide you, that it's an essential step as well. You need to have somebody that can guide you through the process and mentor you as you succeed, as you move forward.
Yes, that is awesome. So the next thing we're going to do, folks, is we're going to take a little bit, a deeper dive into how you take your people from could be to can do. And we're going to talk through 8 strategies that every person needs to build that confidence for that can do attitude, right? So let's go ahead and start on these 8. And if you have the show notes, folks, again, you can download the app and just go to the App Store or to the Play Store and type in IBGR. And IBGR Business Growth Radio will come up. You download the app. Now you'll have IBGR to go. And you can get my show notes for today. And the show notes are going to give you an outline of what we're talking about today. And then you can fill in your own notes as well, right? So I work very hard on providing you some good quality show notes. So let's go over these 8 strategies that every person needs to build the confidence of the can-do attitude. Number 1 is strengthen your mind. See, self-confidence is a state of mind that can be achieved through intentional actions, right? See, a lot in time to nurture. There goes that nurture word again. Nurture your mind this time, your body and your spirit. And all this can be done in a variety of ways, but you need to allot that time to make sure that happens. See, I prefer to read. I exercise somewhat, but I don't consider myself to say I'm an exerciser. All right. Johanna, now she's an exerciser. Right. But you know, yeah. Okay. I'm just not. I'll do it if I have to, Johanna.
Oh, yeah. At least you're being honest, Cedrick.
Yeah,
I'll give you credit for that.
Yes, absolutely. I don't have any exercise goals on my January 1st list.
Well,
right?
we're going to get you some exercise goals then, so don't worry about that.
I have all the equipment, like 10 steps for me right now. I have all the equipment where I got all kind of NordicTrack stuff in here, but I pass by and say, hey, how y'all doing today? But, so I prefer to read and meditate in the morning. I have a room that's called the just a thinking room, and it's all it's designed for is to go in there right now and just to think on things, right? To get my mind right. See, if you're not taking time for yourself, folks, this is just a little secret, then you're allowing someone or something else to shape your view of the world. Mm-hmm. Number 2 of these 8 strategies that you need in order to go from a could do to a could be to can do attitude is discard the negative thoughts that you don't need. See, there's a whole branch in psychology that's dedicated to mindfulness, but it boils down to negative thoughts and insecurities pop up like pimples, right? And just like pimples, picking at them, even if you mean to discredit and burst that negative bubble, ultimately makes it worse, right? So mindfulness practices teaches you to treat thoughts as tools. I'm going to say that again. Mindfulness practices teaches you to treat thoughts as tools. Use and strengthen these tools, the ones that you need, and then discard the ones that you don't need. I really love that, Johanna.
I like that too, Cedrick.
Yeah. So when you make exercise classes for me or things for me, then I'm gonna make some mindfulness things for you.
Yes. Yes, let's do an exchange.
Okay. See, number 3 is live a lifestyle of personal growth. Now that's what I'm talking about right there. That's a very good one, right? See, putting yourself into a course or professional relationships that force you to grow ensures that you're always expanding your mind, not expending, but expanding your mind, which in turn generates confidence and humility. Confidence and humility. Confidence and humility. So you can gain confidence, but still be humble.
I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Versus being confident and cocky, right? See, every now and then you have to get cocky, but that's different. All right. From therapeutic programs to leadership development programs to physical activity and physical programs, committing to this on a regular basis, man, really. It's like, John, let me tell you this. It's like going from doing mathematics, right? It's like doing addition versus multiplication. Mm-hmm. See, when you have a growth mindset and you start setting yourself up for these type of activities, you start exponentially growing yourself. So it's 10 times 10 versus 10 plus 10.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And in your business, for the business owner, I need you to understand, you're going to start seeing that growth in your ROI. You're going to start seeing that growth in your productivity, in your employees' productivity. You're going to start seeing that growth in their efficiency. You're going to start seeing that growth in their effectiveness. Imagine if your efficiency improved in the factory by 10% or 5%. Imagine if the team's effectiveness increased by 5% or 10%. Imagine if productivity increased by that much. Imagine if your ROI increased by that much. Imagine if your profit margin increased by that much.
Yes.
Ooh, Johanna, go ahead, girl. You got me going over here.
Number 4, Cedrick, learn about imposter syndrome. You see, many professionals will at some point experience a psychological phenomenon known as imposter syndrome. And this syndrome, Cedrick, is full of feelings of inadequacy and a fear of everything you have accomplished up until now has been through sheer luck. You know, to overcome this, learn to internalize accomplishments. Peer groups are a great place to talk about this and build confidence. Number 5, dress for success. And I absolutely love this because I am a big fan of the first impression, right? You only have one chance to cause a good first impression, Cedrick. So no matter what level of business you're in, it is important to dress for the client that you want rather than the client that you have. Okay, this
Yeah.
idea, now that we're in this virtual world, right? This whole idea about working from home and being on your pajamas, that doesn't go with me. I understand that successful people get up early and they dress like they're going to the office, right? And they dress like they are in out there in the world, not in their house. So because it reflects in your attitude. And when you look good, you just feel good. And it's a more confident, you just feel confident. And that's what I do. I mean, I get up every day, I put makeup, I have my calls, and I just want to feel like I'm out there in the world. I don't want to feel like I'm in my house. And it does matter, Cedrick.
Yes, it does. And yes, I know you're always like what looking sharp. This is like looking like sharper than the board of health is what they say.
Well, I try, Cedrick. All right. So here's number 6. Take an improved class. Improved classes make you think on your toes and in front of audience. So being on stage helps you grow your confidence, and being in front of crowds also teaches you how to think and react quickly. So all the things that translate well to a boardroom or public speaking opportunity, these are great things that you can do to improve your confidence. Cedrick, are you a big? Do you like to be in activities where you can do public speaking? I know you're a great public speaker, but do you?
Yes, I do. But we're going to talk about that on the other side of the break. We're going to a break here in like 10 seconds.
Awesome.
I actually let the time get away from me there. And so we're in commercial break right now.
Awesome.
I was looking at something else, and then I looked at the clock. Oh, we got to go to break. Yes, I like, I love to dress. I always I like looking nice. But I can say that during this COVID time, I put all these sport coats and all that type of stuff. Yeah, I put that away, and I had to go wear a tie for the first time in a few months, about a month or so ago, and I had to remember how to tie my bow tie. I had to think about it.
You need a refresher. You had to do a refresher course.
Yeah, I had to think about it for a little bit. Then I got it back, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. This is how you do it."
That's funny.
Yeah. So, folks that are listening in on Facebook and YouTube, we are on a commercial break on the radio. You're listening to Talk Leadership with Cedrick on the radio, and I'm Cedrick LaFleur, your co-host today, and Johanna Rincon is with us, and she is our another co-host, and we're excited. What?
How about you're the host and I'm the co-host?
We're going to be co-hosting this in January. We're going to change our image. You're going to see Talk Leadership with Cedrick on the radio with co-hosts Johanna Rincon and Cedrick LaFleur. We're gonna have her picture up on here as well. Come 2021, we're just going to make things happen and change things on the fly here, and well, not even on the fly, it's planned, but we're going to make all of that happen come the first of the year. So we're excited.
Looking forward to the journey, Cedrick.
Awesome. So let's see here, folks. We have another minute and about 50 seconds, and we will be on the radio live again. And so I'm looking forward to going back live for our, let me see what segment. Oh, that's going to be our last segment. Wow, this show has passed by quick today.
It did.
Yeah, it did pass by pretty quick. Well, when you're having fun, that's what happens, folks. The show just moves on really quick. If you're enjoying the show, folks, just type in the comments yes for me. That really appreciate it. If you type in no, I might have to delete that one, but we want to see yes. We want to see yeses. All right, we are about to go back live here. All right, we are back, and you're listening to IBGR Network. IBGR is our call sign as a radio station, but we are more than a radio station, folks. We are a network. I keep telling you, Johanna, we are a network. But you're listening to the best radio in the world today. When you still have to sit back and just relax and say that. You're listening to the best radio in the world today. You're listening to Talk Leadership with Cedrick and Johanna. Everybody needs a little TLC and cup of Joe. So today, folks, we're just having a little fun before we go finish off this last segment. But today we're talking about going from stuck to start, shifting your team's mindset from could be to can do. I need you to go and download the app. If you're just joining us, go to the App Store, the Play Store, and download the app. It's just IBGR. It's going to come up as IBGR Business Growth Radio. Press download, and you're going to have the app with you. In the app, when you pull up Talk Leadership with Cedrick, you're going to see the show notes from today. And you can follow along with us what we're talking about today. So let me go ahead and finish up with number 7 and number 8. What we're doing right now, we're taking a deeper dive and helping you understand how you can help your team go from could be to can do. All right. So let's go ahead and here. Number 7 is, well, let me go ahead and just recap for people that just joined. Number 1 was strengthen your mind. Number 2 is discard the negative thoughts you don't need. Number 3 is live a lifestyle of personal growth. Number 4 is learn about imposter syndrome. Number 5 is dress for success. Number 6 is take an improv class. And number 7 is produce a high quality personal brand. Man, now that one is, I love that one. See, I believe that a key component of building self-confidence is in publicly building your own brand. You see, this can be done through the creation of high quality content, like a blog post, an ebook, a podcast, video content. It doesn't even have to receive a whole lot of traction. The fact is, you have to have a body of work that you're proud of and refer to so others can make a big deal of it for you, right? You want them to make the big deal of it. It's going to help build your self-confidence. It's going to make you feel better about yourself. It's going to make you feel excited about yourself. Okay. Number 8 is recognize your value outside of your work. Now, Johanna.
I like that.
Yes. Recognize your value outside of work. A lot of people struggle in that area right there. Mm-hmm. Right. I know some people that have some big incomes, Johanna. They struggle in this right here, recognizing their value outside of work. They put all of it into work, and they don't feel that they have value outside of that. See, your self-confidence needs to be rooted in who you are, completely outside of the success of your business. See, because you're the one that built the business. So you got to find ways to get connected with yourself and grow. See, perhaps, volunteer somewhere, do some pro bono work somewhere, meditate, work out. There's that workout word again. Let me skip that one. Read, hang out with friends. See, whatever it takes for you to see value, regardless of how well you're doing professionally. You're laughing because I said take out the workout word.
You're trying to skip the workout. Don't worry, you're gonna get your workout. You're gonna get a workout challenge in January.
Okay, all right. So today we're gonna close out with 3 questions that each of you needs to ask yourself and your team in order to know if you are truly confident. See, if you truly have the can-do attitude. So, Johanna, go ahead and start us off.
Absolutely. So question number 1, does your confidence have conditions? If your sense of self-worth relies on your relationship status, your job, your income, your weight, your confidence is conditional. See, conditional confidence works well when those conditions are met. For example, you got your promotion, or you can fit now in those skinny jeans. But when your situation changes, so does your self-esteem and emotional well-being. And that's what we don't want, right, Cedric?
Right.
What happens if you gain a few pounds, or you let go from your job? Then you're back at square one without any self-love to help you bounce back. And that's the problem there. So you need to work on building unconditional self-worth instead.
Yes.
Okay. And unconditional confidence is based on applying your values and strength, and appreciate the life you create by doing so. And is your life, your work, you way you spend your free time, the people that you hang out with, are those things in alignment? Ask yourself that, right? Are they
Wait,
aligned?
alignment? Hey, wait a minute. That's the name of your company, Internal
Yeah,
Alignment. Look at that.
internal alignment.
You're
That's
trying
the
to
whole
slip that
idea.
in.
That's the whole idea. You have to find internal alignment, Cedric. You need to make sure you know the people that you spend time with, your free time, and all these things are aligned with your values. If not, then bring them together, because that's where unconditional confidence begins. Very important.
Yes, you're absolutely right about that. The next question you need to ask is, are you confident in some areas but not others? You know, a lot of us have confidence, Johanna, in some areas where we're strong in, and other areas we're not so strong in, right? See, it's normal to be confident, a confident athlete, but decidedly unconfident when it comes to public speaking.
Mhm.
Right? Some people just shy away from that. See, or maybe you're sure of yourself at work, but self-conscious in social situations, right? That happens, and that's okay, right? You don't have to be confident with everything. You can be, but you don't have to be. Right. In fact, people who act sure of themselves in all situations are probably either faking it or overestimating their abilities. Right. See, being sure in your innate worth as a person, even if you're terrible at tennis or shy at parties, is what matters. Right. See, true confidence, according to I like this from Dr. Glenn Schiraldi, in his book, The Self-Esteem Workbook, says, said honesty and appreciative opinion of yourself that accounts for your strengths and your weaknesses. You see, I like that. Honest and appreciative opinion of yourself that accounts for your strengths and your weaknesses. So in other words, how to turn your weaknesses into strengths is what he's really getting at, right?
Mhm.
And then he's, so how does that translate to happiness? And happiness is a part of life, right, Johanna? Are you
Yeah,
happy today?
I am so happy.
Well, that is awesome. Let me see you smile then. All right, Facebook wants to see Johanna smile. All right.
I am not only happy, I'm feeling joyful today, Cedric.
Awesome. So people that are on the radio, I'm telling you, she's smiling. Okay. All right. So see, people who believe in their innate worth strive for excellence with less pressure or the fear of failure. See, the fear of failure robs people of happiness, right? Because they're always worried about it. Of something, right? Since coming up short of a goal does not diminish who they are as a person, right? So I'm gonna put it all together first. See, people who believe in their innate worth, they strive for excellence with less pressure or the fear of failure, since coming up short of a goal doesn't diminish who they are as a person, right? See, when you aren't afraid of failure, you try to move more things, do more things, pursue more goals than people who are afraid of failure.
I like that. That is true, Cedric. That is a true fact. All right. So here's the last question. Here's our last question. Here. I'm sorry about that. That was my daughter. She wanted to.
See, folks, we're live on the air, and you see your kids. They don't care about this. They're like, "Hey,
They
mom,
don't.
I want my mommy."
All right. Sorry about that. Well, here's the last question. Do you believe in other people in innate worth? See, true confidence is not just about your estimation of yourself, Cedric. It is also about how you value others. People who are high in healthy self-esteem, they're also high in healthy humility. Here it comes again. You need to have a good balance there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Shiraldi mentioned in that book. You know, they recognize that all people are valuable and have much to learn, and valuing other people for all their strength and weaknesses. That's how social bonds and bounds and sparked and solidify. The people you associate with and appreciate every day, your friends, your family, your neighbors, and co-workers, those are the cornerstones of happiness, Cedric. I absolutely love that. And that was a great question to kind of close this out and wrap it up. Very, very good. Healthy humility, healthy balance with your confidence. It's definitely something that we need to practice all, right?
Yes, absolutely. Johanna, this has been a really good session today, and I really enjoy this, shifting your mindset from could be to can do. And, I always like to have a can do attitude. And today has been a great show. You're listening to Talk Leadership with Cedrick on the radio on IBGR Network, folks. And I'm glad you tuned in today. Johanna, thanks very much for joining us today as a co-host. And we look forward to the next show when it's Thursday at 2 p.m. Central Time. Be right here. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So we are wrapping up, folks, for who tuned in on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in with us today. We enjoyed you tuning in with us today. If you enjoyed the show, then make sure you tell somebody next week and come back here every week, Thursday at 2 p.m. Central Time, so you can tune in to Talk Leadership with Cedrick on the radio, and everybody needs a little cup of joe.
Oh, no. Everybody needs a little TLC, right, Cedric?
Yes. Everybody needs a little TLC. Thank you guys very much, and you have a good rest of your day. Bye.